Okay guys, just about ready to get started here. Hello, and thanks for taking the time to join this free webinar today. My name is Dale Bateman. I'm a part-time internet marketer living near Toronto, Canada. My background is in graphic design, marketing, and personal training. Plus, I've been building my online business as a part-time internet marketer for almost 4 years. Now, before I get started with today's free webinar, let me share with you what I believe is the #1 mistake that most internet marketers make. And yes, this includes me, especially when they are just getting started. Because I am truly passionate about wanting to help people achieve more success in their lives, and hopefully you will learn from my mistakes. As you know, many people have had great success online. However, without even realizing it, they were creating only a short-term business model. Why? They didn't build a list. They create a multitude of products to sell online. Some are good, most are not so good. They sell them through forums, affiliates, and advertising. Maybe they make a lot of money. Most of the time they don't. Why? They didn't build a list. Some of the greatest online marketers have had pockets of success by leveraging things like Google AdSense. By implementing simple keyword strategies early on, some brought in a whopping 6-figure income. But then, Google changed the rules, and these once successful online marketers were left with almost nothing. Can you guess why? That's right, they didn't build a list. So why is a good list so important? Quite simply, a quality list will continue to pay you for your quality online content over and over and over again. It all comes down to the trust that you earn from your email list. They learn to trust you because you've taken the time to build a strong relationship with them. So what's the best way to build a strong, loyal list? That's what we're going to cover in this free webinar series. Now, I want to officially welcome you to this free internet marketing webinar. This is part 4. Let's get started. Grab a pen and some paper to make some notes. Once the webinar is over, I'll open the floor for some Q&A. Right now, I'm doing high-level internet marketing and creating automated and passive sources of income online. Plus, I'm enjoying teaching people, just like you, how to do the same thing and make money online. But this time around, I'm making sure that everyone on my team is focused on building a list. Don't make the same mistakes that I made. Make sure that you take the strategies you will learn here and use them to build a strong, loyal email list. But remember, when you are successful, make certain that you take time for what's really important in your life, like spending more time with your family, or maybe doing some traveling you've always wanted to do, or being able to buy that new car you've always wanted. I mean, that's what's so great about working from home. You have the freedom to do what you want, when you want, and as much as you want. Now, let's get to building you a good list. Here's what we'll be covering tonight. This week, I'll be covering keyword marketing. That's right, keyword marketing. This will become one of the most important skills for your success. No matter what you're selling online, you must have a steady flow of quality, targeted traffic coming to your website. Your 3 key steps for this are creating traffic, capturing leads, and converting sales. I'll repeat that. Create traffic, capture leads, convert sales. The number of visitors you'll need depends on several factors, like how much competition your niche has. You want to get the most from your efforts. Therefore, you should look into traffic methods that are diverse. I'm going to go over a few of these methods with you tonight, but a word of caution. Choose one, that's one, and run with it. Don't try to be an expert in all of them. Now, here's some of the most common keyword marketing methods. First up, article marketing. Now, when we talk about article marketing, what I mean is it is essentially a process where you write, or actually if you can hire someone to write articles that are what are known as optimized articles. They are optimized with keywords that you've gotten for your niche. So this method is free and it's easy to do. But there is a downside. You'll need a lot of articles in circulation to give you any real traffic. Now, some of the great sources for this, guys, what you can do is use Google and do a search and try to find some good keywords that people in your niche, let's say your niche is weight loss. You could do a Google search centered around weight loss in many different topics and see what sorts of search terms come up automatically. You know how you get those suggested search terms when you start typing something into a Google search? Take some of those and figure out how you can write an article around them. And one of the best ways to do this is take a look at that keyword or that keyword phrase as it's called and figure out a problem that's centered around that keyword or keyword phrase. So what sorts of problems would people have where they're looking up that particular phrase in Google in order to find a solution? And what is the solution? Of course, it's written in your article. Okay, so you see how that works? Now, once you get your article written, the key is to get it out there in front of as many people as you can in order to start driving traffic to your website. Now, there's several article marketing websites on the net where you can post your articles. You have to usually become a member of these sites. And just as an example, one of the ones that I use all the time is called ezinearticles.com. And what you do is you sign up as, it's a free service, there's no cost. You can get an upgraded membership where you get some perks and so forth, but typically the way a lot of them work is the more writing you do and the more quality content you provide to them, the higher up in their rankings you will be placed, even if you're a free member. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I think I started with ezinearticles.com back last summer, and I had already written a number of articles and posts on my blog, and what I did is I submitted a lot of those. I submitted a whack of them, like something like 20 of them all at sort of the same time, and that volume of articles actually boosted me up to what they consider to be their diamond level. So they go up in sort of like gemstones or precious metals. So their highest level of author is a diamond level author. So they allow me to use a diamond level author logo on my website if I want. this kind of thing. And also the thing is, every time you submit an article, it has to be approved by their editor team. And the higher level you reach, the faster it takes for those articles to be approved. So that's just one example. Getting your articles on article marketing websites on the net. Always make sure you include a link in your description. Every article will have a description at the bottom usually, which is just a little bit of a bio about you as the author. And make sure you put a link in there, and ideally make that link go to your squeeze page. So when people click the link, they're going to immediately have an option to opt in to your list, and then you've got them on your list and you can start emailing to them. Okay, so that's sort of in a nutshell article marketing, your first sort of avenue in terms of using keywords to get traffic to your site. So what's next? Number 2, search engine optimization, also commonly known as SEO for short. All right? Now we've all sort of heard of this, but what does it actually mean, and how can you use it in terms of keywords to get yourself some traffic? So this method, search engine optimization or SEO, is all about getting the search engines to quote-unquote see your website. By placing relevant, targeted keywords on your website in certain areas, you will stand out to the search engines. Now this method obviously is free. All you have to do is do it, make sure that you do it, and that you are again using targeted keywords that people are searching for, because that's what it all comes down to, guys. It's all a matter of people go on the internet to search to solve a problem, and whatever website has Google's idea of the fastest and best source of information to answer that problem, that is how you get ranked and how you show up in the Google search. So by using search engine optimization, that's essentially what that means. You're optimizing the use of the search engines by placing your keywords into your posts on your blog, into your general information. Another thing that is very important that I would always recommend in terms of adding to your search engine optimization of your website is make sure that you have a site map. If you don't create it yourself, have someone create it for you. Most of the time there's an option, whether it be a plugin or a widget with a WordPress blog, where it will create a sitemap for you. A lot of the WordPress themes will actually have a sitemap built in. What that does is a sitemap makes it a lot easier for, and these guys are called spiders or crawlers. These are little software guys that the search engines send out in search of information on the web. And the easier it is for them to find your keywords on your website, the better chance you have of being ranked higher in the searches. So having a sitemap is very critical for that. So make sure you make a note to check and make sure that your blog or your website has got a sitemap. Alright, so that's search engine optimization. What's next? Number 3, pay-per-click ads. Now, this method is where you place ads that will appear on the search results page. Now, you've all seen them. You do a search in Google and you get your list of suggested websites to visit. Could be a list There could be some YouTube videos in there. You always have to remember that Google owns YouTube. So that's a key thing, and that's why you're starting to see now a lot more video showing up in the search results when you do a search on Google, is because they're really trying to integrate YouTube into their search results. And that's a key that we're going to talk about in a future webinar in terms of really capitalizing on your YouTube channel when it comes to increasing your traffic to your site. But back to pay-per-click, you will quite often see, whether it's at the top of the search results or sometimes down the right-hand side, there will be a number of little ads that people have actually paid for and have asked Google to put them in certain places as they relate to searches that people are doing. So yeah, you've no doubt done a search and have seen the ads that appear at the top and down the side of the results page. Now these ads are paid for, and there's other online marketers that have paid for them. And as the name implies, you pay only if someone clicks on your ad. That's what it means by pay-per-click. Now the downside to using this method is that it involves a fairly complicated method of bidding on keywords. Now I'll explain that a little more. The amount you may have to pay for a particular keyword can vary due to the many factors such as the quality score your ad has been given by the search engines. So yes, if it sounds confusing, it is a bit. And since you'll be paying while you are learning this method of keyword marketing, it's better to use this method after you've taken the time to learn how to use it properly. So make sure before you get into pay-per-click that you understand fully how to use it. There's lots of information that Google will provide to you if you're interested in this. It's a good option if you do have some extra money to spend. Excuse me. And I'm a firm believer that anything that you make on your business in terms of profits, you should always turn around and put at least 20% of that back into advertising for your business. Because when you think about it, let's say you have a great day and you bring in all kinds of money. Well, that will last for a certain period of time, but unless you go back and continue to keep generating traffic, we talked about that, those 3 points, create traffic. Unless you keep creating traffic, that income is going to slow down. So it always makes sense to me and to many people in online marketing that reinvesting in your business is very critical. And like I say, a minimum should be 20% of everything you bring in should go bang right back into advertising. And you can do that by pay-per-click ads, things called solo ads, which we'll get into in future lessons, and so on. Okay? So that's pay-per-click in a nutshell. Again, get information on it if you're interested in that. I can help you with that if you like, but there's lots of information that you should understand before getting into it. Number 4, forum marketing. This is another great way, guys, of using keywords. Again, searching for problems that people have and kind of taking it a step further, because a lot of people, you typically have your people who have a problem, they go to the search bar in Google and they do a search and they see what they can come up with. Other people have a different approach, and what they do is they go looking for a forum that has to do with the niche that they're interested in. Again, if we use weight loss as an example, someone wants to learn how to lose weight effectively. If a Google search doesn't get them what they're looking for, then quite often what they will do is they'll look for a weight loss forum. And there's lots of these on the web. Just do a search for forum weight loss. Make sure you have the word forum in there, and Google will pull up tons of forum websites, and this is where people will share information. Some of the people, I would say the majority of the people on there are people who are legitimately looking for answers and are looking for people who have experienced the same things they're having trouble with and have overcome them and are able to recommend solutions. The minority of people in forums are people like us. They're internet marketers. But internet marketers who are not there to spam them, to hit them with an offer when they ask a question. We're there to offer our advice and our guidance. Again, we want to build a relationship, and this is a great way to build relationships with a potential list. So my recommendation here, visit forums that fall under your niche where you have some expertise and get involved. Sign up for the forum. Usually they're free, and just get in there and start answering some questions and build some relationships. If people offer and ask for your advice and you have something to offer them, for instance, perhaps a free product that you can point them in the direction of at your squeeze page to download, and all they have to do is join your list, then after you've built that relationship, throw them that link and see if they take it. Okay? Chances are they will. If you've built up some trust with them and they have built that relationship with you and they think that you're going to lead them in the right direction and help them, legitimately help them, then chances are they'll click your link and they'll check out your free product, and then it's just a go from there. Okay? So forum marketing is a great tool to use. Okay, it's similar to what we discussed back with article marketing, except instead of you writing something and hoping someone reads it, you've actually got a more, call it an internet face-to-face with people, because they're asking real questions in real time and you are providing answers to them. All right? So try that out, forum marketing. I got one more, which is social media marketing. Now, this is such a vast and broad subject, similar in some ways to forum marketing. We've all heard and know of and are probably involved in some form of social media. That's probably how you heard about the webinar here, is through my Facebook group. So these are the kinds of things where you need to get involved with again. And find some Facebook groups, some Google Plus circles, groups within Google Plus, groups within LinkedIn. Start working with your Twitter account and getting the information out there about what you are offering. And again, try to go in the stages of creating traffic, capturing leads, and then converting sales. So your first priority is creating traffic. You want to get people to your squeeze page. So if that means making comments and liking, I'm going to use Facebook because that's what I'm most familiar with. If that means doing lots of comments in groups and liking people's pages and posting some cool, funny pictures or some cool videos that you found or that you've made, preferably, in there to get people's interest so they start becoming leads that you can capture. Okay? And then eventually convert them into sales. So using social media, very big today. And don't forget again about YouTube. That also counts as social media. And that's something that I'm using every day to try to do those three things. You know, create some traffic, capture some leads, and convert some sales. Okay, so there's 5 things that you can use. Let's whip back through them really quickly. Article marketing, search engine optimization, pay-per-click ads, if you do your homework and you have some money to spend, forum marketing, and social media marketing. Okay? Moving on. So no matter which one you choose to start with of those methods, you should perfect it first. Remember that, guys, before moving on to or adding another one. So try them out, see which one. You'll probably have a pretty good idea of which one is going to work for you or you're going to be most comfortable with. Try it out and see how it works for you. And become literally a pro at it before you move on to something different. Okay? You don't want to be a jack of all trades with this. You want to be the master of one. Okay? Now remember too, when you're just getting started, you will feel like you can't do anything right and that you're stumbling to create content, market yourself, or sell anything. The main thing is never, ever, ever give up. That's right, I'll repeat that. Never, ever, ever give up. Never, ever, ever give up, guys. That is the key thing in all of this. All right? I've heard so many people say the moment they gave up, that was the moment before they were about to have a breakthrough and just go to the moon with their business. Okay? So don't worry. The other thing I want to point out here, I don't have a slide for it, but I want to mention it, is never wait until everything is perfect. And here's a good example. I knew I wanted to mention this point, but I didn't make a slide for it. But that's okay, because I'm bringing it up now. You're already making some notes, so you're going to remember it. What I want to say is never wait until everything is perfect before you try something, because to be honest, it never ever will be perfect. There'll always be something that needs to be fixed or changed, and that can all be done down the road. Don't worry about it. Just do it. That is the key. Just do it. Nike had it bang on when they said that, when they started using that catchphrase. Just do it. So if you want to get into article marketing, don't worry if your article is perfect. People don't care. They want the information, and they want it in a real sort of way. They don't want you to be fake and phony and somebody that you're not. They want to hear what you have to say, and they want to hear your suggestions and your ideas on how to fix their problem. Okay? So never, ever, ever give up, and never, ever, ever wait till it's perfect. Just do it. Let's move on. Now, here's your next 5-part action plan for success. So each week I'm giving you 5 action plan items that you can use in your business primarily to become more effective and more efficient with your business. So tonight, number 1, get an outside perspective. What I mean by that, when you get overwhelmed and too emotionally involved in everything that's happening in your business, you tend to not be able to make clear decisions. So what I would recommend is you get an outside perspective from, it could be a business partner, maybe your mentor, which you should have, your coach or friend, And you should sort out what's really most important to you now in your business. And in most cases, an outside perspective can really open you up to new possibilities. Okay, because people will see it in a different way than you are, because you're so emotionally involved in it that you sometimes don't see things clearly. So get an outside perspective. Number 2, try to use a calendar system. Now, here's what I mean by that. Keep what you have to do and all the major deadlines in a calendar system. And there's such a thing called Google Calendar that you can use for free. Now, in this way, you can easily prioritize and plan your time, and in doing that, you're going to boost your productivity. Now, using Google Calendar can also help you track a random assortment of appointments and the places you need to be at different times. So it also facilitates coordination with your business partners by allowing 2 or more people to synchronize their calendars. So if you work with a partner or other people, maybe you've got some freelancers who are doing some work for you, you've outsourced some things, which I've suggested in past points. Make sure everybody is working on the same calendar system. So everybody's on the same page. You all know when the deadlines are, when they're coming up, when everything is due, and so on. Okay? Number 3, take immediate massive action to do what you need to do. Okay? The key to productivity is actually doing what you need to do. It's as simple as that. Do what you need to do. Now, you have to be careful not to get trapped by secondary activities. You have to be reminded that spending your time to maintain your productivity system is a secondary activity. Instead, you should focus on what you need to do. Okay? And by saying taking immediate, so right now, massive, big time action, doing it, that's what you have to do. All right? Figure out what it is you need to do and just do it. Number 4, try to schedule like-minded tasks together. Now, you should be blocking out similar to-dos together. And this can be done in your calendar. For example, if you set aside some time to make, say, outbound phone calls or emails, make one right after the other. Okay? Don't make one and then go back and do something else on your blog. Get all of those similar activities or like-minded tasks done together before you move on to something else. Okay? Plan times during the day to check your email, check your Twitter and social media, and avoid what's called a huge time trap. Okay? Where you're just going here and there, all over the place. Have a set schedule that you're going to follow throughout your day and stick to it. Okay? Now, we're running long on time, so I want to get to number 5. Now, what I've got here on the slide, if you're getting no progress, move on to a new task. I'm going to explain that in a different way. Think about it this way. Do something else if you find it hard for you to make progress in the task at hand. Okay? I'll reword that a little bit. If you find it hard for you to make progress in the task that you're doing, do something else. In other words, don't get stuck on something. It is typical to experience obstacles in tasks that we're doing. Sometimes it's frustrating that the more urgent and important something is, the harder it is for you to make progress. And I'm sure you've all seen this in real life. Now, you've hit a wall like this, You need to break the downward spiral of procrastination and bad feelings. That's number one. If you can't push yourself to do something about that task, just stop the losing battle and maybe go for a walk. Chances are, when you return, you'll jump on that task and you'll have unexpected eagerness towards it. Okay? So don't get stuck. Let's say you have to hit a deadline for a certain time that day for a task, and it's just not happening for you. Don't struggle with it. Take a break. Go for a walk. Go and, I don't know, do some push-ups or something. Come back to it, because chances are you'll have a fresher perspective on it and you'll be able to get it done. Okay? So there's your 5 action steps for this week. Get an outside perspective. Use a calendar system. Take immediate, massive action to do what you need to do. Try to schedule like-minded tasks together. And if you're not progressing on a specific task, move on to something else or take a break. Okay, guys? So I want to thank you so much. And remember, when you put these 5 action items into practice right away, you will see a gain in your productivity and ultimately in your success. And that's what it's all about. So I want to thank you guys for attending the webinar tonight. If anyone has any questions, we'll open up the chat and you can ask them in there. I am recording this, so it'll be available on my YouTube channel, also in my Facebook group called Frustrated Online Marketers. And again, thank you so much. Let's have some Q&A. Thanks, guys.